We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to KetoSimple Sunday morning coffee with me, Dustin, your host here today, as well as every day that I'm here. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm super excited to be back. We're a lot to talk about. So, first off, let's talk about some things that have happened in the last 2 weeks since we've spoken. So, let's see. We talked 2 weeks ago today, and I had plans to do Tuesday live, and we ended up doing a Monday live instead. I forget what happened. There was something going on. Anyway, I can't remember. Um, we maybe we did do Tuesday live. Maybe it was Monday live. I can't remember what happened. We did something. Something was going on. Anyway, then Wednesday rolls around and we have a lot of storms. A lot of really bad storms in the area. We had an F2 tornado come through our town. It was about a 10-mile run. Went through about a mile and a half, 2 miles from our house. Um, Thankfully, luckily, no damage. We made it through. We had a panicked little Pookie with us, and she was terrified as her parents and she had gone camping before in southern Indiana. And, well, ran across a tornado. Like, went right in front of them. They were at like a Taco Bell drive-through, and the tornado just goes right in front of them. So this girl is terrified of tornadoes. And our oldest boy, middle child, comes in, and he's like, "Did you see that there's tornado warnings?" And we're like, "No, there's not. They're just storms." He goes, "No, but really," like, "No, but really, they're just storms." Because she's standing right there, and she's like, "Tornadoes, no!" So then, like, we had like the sirens going off, and we're in like, the bathroom and doing all the things, and we made it through. We made it through. And then we find out that Cheyenne's um, great grandmother is only got a little bit left to go, a little bit to live. So her and her husband, fiance, whatever you want to call him, decide that they're going to go down to Florida last minute. So we are left with the girl. So what that means for us was no lives. I didn't get a chance to go to Nashville, Tennessee this weekend to go down and do my podcast with Dr. Kiltz because family comes first. We had to take care of that girl. And along with taking care of that girl, we're going to get into some of this other stuff in a little bit more in depth, but at least some of the ramifications of having her all week. We had her for like 8 days, nights, coming off of 2 weeks of spring break, we had her a lot because she didn't go to school. So we had her every day for spring break. We did a lot of stuff with her. We're going to talk about going to Slick City, which was pretty awesome. I have some footage if I can get it to play for you guys in a little while. But anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to kind of get you guys on caught up to speed, if you will, what's going on with us, why we didn't go live, what happened. Just, we had the girl, Chandra works on the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, I had her all day. Like last Saturday, dropped her off right around the time that Chandra was going to work. So that meant Sunday I had her all by myself, so I couldn't go live. And then Tuesday we had her, and then so all the things, and yeah. But I'm here now. I'm here now, and I haven't had any coffee yet this morning. What a travesty. So anyway, here's my Bucky's cup full of coffee. I hope you have your coffee. Mm. Ah, so good. Mm. Delicious. We've got some comments here. John Gugahan, thank you, my good friend, for being here. Dustin, I am so glad you're back. Last week felt a little off because I didn't start this with the Sunday morning coffee live. Tell me about it. Our whole week was off. Like, just everything being off, having the girl, it's off. Things, when things don't go according to plan. But anyway, I kind of also wanted to touch on the fact that so they left to go to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. They left to go to Jacksonville, Florida Saturday morning after they dropped the girl off. They made it there sometime Sunday. Got a chance to see her great grandmother, and she passed that night. So they did make it on time. And they were hoping to be there long enough for a funeral, but that is not going to happen for about another month. So they said their goodbyes and came home, and they picked her up yesterday. So just to kind of catch everybody up to speed, Jerry's in the house. Good morning, Jerry. She said, "Yes, John, me too. Need me some Sunny D." As in Dustin to kickstart my week. Last week hit too hard over here. If you know, you know. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. United Carnivore is in the house. Greetings from Tampa Bay. Karen Harrington is in the house. Thank you so much for being here, Karen. Truly, truly appreciate you being here. Jeff, good morning, Jeff. He says, "Good morning, everyone." Jerry says, "Just jumped out of the shower and ready to enjoy a crazy fun time with Dustin and my peeps." That's right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brian is here. Good morning, Dustin. Yes. Andy, my dear lovely Andy, and probably Susan still sleeping. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. And Brian says good morning to everyone else. Sean Bradley is in the house. Good morning, all. Good morning, Sean. Hope you and Shell are doing okay. Oh my goodness, I miss you guys so much too. Oh, you have no idea. Not going live on Sunday was so difficult. It threw me off for the entirety of the week. Let me just tell you what. Christian Delorme, the Canadian Vinyl Revival, the Canadian Assassin, is in the house. Good morning, Christian. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Here we go. Rick's in the house. Greetings, Earthlings. Yes. Jennifer Lucas. Good morning, Jennifer. Prayers for Ken Pattinson this morning and his medical challenges. Yes. Make sure to keep them in your thoughts. Send them love. If you are friends with them and you have text messages, text them, love them, send them your love. They are in dire need. John says, "It's great to see your bearded face. I so much appreciate that." Yes. Oh, that's right. That is right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. I tell you what, 2 weeks is a long time to try to remember stuff. So yeah, so that Monday, I went live because Tuesday, Chandra and I were supposed to go to the meetup. Chandra got sick and was having the RIA for like a whole week. And so it got to the point where she had a test. So her friend comes over, brings her all these testing supplies. She goes and puts it all together to have the tests, and then all the symptoms just stopped on Friday. All the symptoms stopped on Thursday, Friday. So she was sick for a whole week, and she's truly, truly upset that she missed the meetup. But we had a great time at the meetup. The Bears, the Staufers, me, Andy, so many great people were there. I drove Jennifer Lucas. It was amazing. We had a great time. Amy, the fantabulous Amy, Got a chance to see her again since we haven't seen her since KPL. Mm, super, super awesome. Truly, truly love each and every one of all of you people are so, so amazing. Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, everybody. But yes, so we had the meetup up at Smokin' Fatties up in Elkhart, Indiana. And just a little something something for you for all you people. You know, what is going on here? That's what I want. Keto Chow, since they were there, Keto Chow was there, and they gave everybody in attendance the new flavor. We've got, but let me go ahead and move this off here. We've got coconut cream pie is the new flavor over at Keto Chow. It's a limited edition flavor, so I know you're just gonna go coconuts for it. So if you want to try it, hit my link, KetoSimple.shop. You can save 10% on any order you place through that link with Keto Chow. Helps me, helps you. We all win. And it's a new flavor. It's limited edition. I don't know how many they're going to have. I don't know how many they purchased. They gave away 100 of these things to us last week, week before, whatever it was. And super excited for you guys to try it. 0.75 net carbs, 26 grams protein. The total carbs on this is 3 grams total carbs, I think, is what I'm looking at here. I don't know. It's super duper small. 3 total carbs, I think, is what it is. That's if you make it with butter, the carbs do not even go up at all. So yes, try it. It's probably delicious. I haven't had a chance to try it yet myself. I've made the content. I'm not a big coconut fan. Oh, excuse me. I'm not the biggest coconut fan, so I'm probably gonna. Maybe we will try it on Tuesday. I will whip up a batch. We will try it as a shake on Tuesday. Shander will try it. I will try it. We'll all try it, and we'll see how it goes. But thank you. Susan is in the house. Good morning, Susan. Susan B16. Bingo. Susan's in the house. Thank you for being here, Susan. And Andy says, talk about the meetup. Well, we do have the meetup coming up May the 24th. If you are anywhere in the central Indiana or surrounding states, join us. Go over to lowcarbevents.com. Check it out. $25 is the entry fee, but we are serving all the meats. All of them. I think we're having brisket and things and stuffs, and bring sides if you so choose, but you're not required to. But we're going to have a good time. Joe and Rachel will be there. A couple of surprises. You don't want to miss out on the opportunity for those surprises. But yes, come hang out with us. It's a long time. You can hang out for about 5 or 6 hours. It's like 11 to 5, something like that. Um, it's Eastern Standard Time in Central Indiana. It's Amo, Indiana, at their little. It's like a community center. Holds about 110 people. So come on out, join us, join us, join us. And then in June, reach out before June, reach out to Andy. She's got a meetup going at her clubhouse. So reach out to her, get it set up. Join us, won't you? Shall you? uh Brian's asking, did I get the job? I did not get the job as far as I understand, unless I've reached out to them a few times, and the person that I interviewed with says they're still waiting on the GM to make a decision. But my understanding, my guess, my hypothesis would be that because I deviate from their scheduling, because they want people to work Monday through Friday, and I need Fridays off or an augmented schedules on Fridays, that they probably will not hire me. I'm still trying to put in applications in other places. I'm still hopefully going to one of these days get on at Costco. I would truly love to work at Costco. That would be very nice. But still kind of where I'm at now. So, boo, 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 boo. You know, yes. Let's see if I can take care of something real quick here. Always tweaking things, tweaking the things. Yes. Oh, let's see. Stacy is here. Good morning, my dear Stacy. She says good morning from OSU Hospital. Getting answers today on Ken's back. No coffee here yet. Well, somebody help them get some coffee. I don't know where they are, but someone's probably got to be somewhere near the area. Hopefully, hopefully you guys can get her some coffee. Help her out. Maybe DoorDash that stuff. Help her get some coffee. Because, ER or hospital coffee is doo doo water, and you don't need that. You need real coffee. So reach out to Stacy if you know her and see if you can help her get that taken care of. Oh my goodness. Rick is in the house. Mr. Quick Quack himself. Quack Quack. Darkwing Duck. Just for you, my friend. Brian Doyle is in the house. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing, sir? Good morning, doing the taxes. Ugh, gross. Andy says we also have a new flavor of keto chow. That's right. Don't forget, if you like coconut cream pie or think you like coconut, you want to go coconuts, go on and get you some. People saying hello to each other. Booby Goats is in the house. Hashtag iguana flavor. Good morning, Booby Goats. Thank you for being here. Oh, let's see. John says, Dustin, I used your link and bought some. Should be here Thursday. I am looking forward to trying it. Well, Mr. Gugahan, I truly appreciate you. That does mean the world to me. Every little bit helps keep things moving right along. Truly appreciate that. Let's see. John says, I couldn't figure out how to use your link from the shorts, so I went to your channel and used it from there. Perfect. And always, you can always just go to KetoSimple.shop, and all the links are laid out there in order. Um, I have started putting together, so Amazon has its own, basically what it is now is its own Temu or Wish type competitor option. It's called Haul. So Amazon Haul. And I went in and I put together so far like 48 different things into my Amazon links. Um, they're all very low priced items, so they're all $2, $3, $4. Um, kitchen things. So like little kitchen gadgets, little kitchen things that go like on the back of your sink, things like that. Little doodads, this, that, and the other. Little like milk frothers and like the battery operated salt and pepper shaker things and things like that. So if you want to take a look at that, that's also at KetoSimple.shop. Um, I was looking it over and they give me 7%. So if you buy those, I get a 7% kickback. But again, it's $2. So I'm making pennies still. But, if instead of shopping on Temu, I mean, because I know some of you guys like to shop on Temu, um, just because you can get weird little trinkets and stuff for cheap. You can go into my link and click through my links in there and then still shop around and see what all is there. And as long as you went through my link and shop, I should get the kickback. Nothing changes for you. Just a different way to get to Amazon. Yeah. And Andy said, I just read about Stacy and Ken sending love and prayers. Yes, yes. Booby Goats is in the process of making coffee. Making coffee. Hmm. Oh, my goodness. A little thirsty this morning, too. I got some Wooter here. Ah. John Gugahan says, when you stay so still and silent like that, I always think my screen is frozen. Like, just look for the stuff. Just look at the stuff going. That's why I've got a little bit of stuff in the background going on. Colors and stuff changing in the background, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Jennifer Lucas says, special guests at our Indiana meetup in May are Joe and Rachel, two crazy ketos. Our venue is a great is an area great for mingling and meeting all the great guests. Not to mention all you care to eat. So much food. Yes. Just reach out to us. We're gonna hang out. Just go through the links and information you find at lowcarbevents.com and you will find our meetup. And we would be excited to have you guys. So excited. Sean says, we got the new flavor yesterday. We used your link to get them as well. Well, I appreciate that, Sean. That's the best news that I've heard since John Gugahan said he used our link. I truly appreciate all you guys using the links because that does significantly help me out. Stacy says, you are silly, Dustin. We shall survive on hospital coffee. No time to sleep. Attentive staff, please send positive mojo our way. Well, my dear, if I might be silly, but I want you to have some good coffee. So if there's any way any of you are lovely, wonderful people are out there and able to help, please do so. It would mean a lot to us. Um, has anybody seen Evil Lynn? She's not in the chat today. Is she okay? Has anybody heard from her? Christy's in the house. Good morning, Christy. Meeting wellness. Good morning, friends. Good morning, my dear. How are you doing today? And then Sean says, as soon as it loads for me, for some reason, I've got chat in two different spots, and it shows me here first, and then it comes up over here where I can actually show it on the screen. Coconut kickbacks. Thank you. Yes. If you guys ever watched the show, there was a show on Adult Swim called The Boondocks. I think it was a comic in the paper at one point, but this is to be honest, I don't remember that one if that's actually a real thing. But the Boondocks cartoon at Adult Swim was a much different scenario, and maybe most of you probably have never seen it. But there was a recurring character played by Cat Williams, the comedian Cat Williams, and he's like, speaking of kickback, he was like, his name was a pimp named Slickback. That was his full name, a pimp named Slickback. Yeah. Yes. Jennifer says, I am not a coffee drinker, but I recently heard 2KK has their own line of coffee. That is very true. Joe and Rachel have their own line of coffee with a coffee brand. Hit them up. I think it's 2crazyketos.com, something like that. I am not afraid to share their stuff because why not? We all need to survive. We all need to make it in this crazy world. And you know how it goes. Yes. But if you have the wherewithal, if that's something that you would be interested in, most of you probably already know that they have their own coffee. Most of you who are going to purchase it have already purchased it or done so. But if you haven't and you're curious about it, go check it out because it helps them. Them being successful helps me, helps you, helps all of us. Susan says, no coffee yet. Working some OT this morning, drinking my electrolytes to start the day. That's a perfect way to start the day. Electrolytes first, then coffee. I have not had my electrolytes yet today, but thankfully, Evil Lynn is here. What? she says. Or like when the girl says things to me, she'll say something crazy and I'll be like, "What?" And she just giggles and giggles and giggles. And then I, you know, have a good time because she's my best friend. And it is difficult. So she was with us for 8 days and nights. And she's difficult and she was missing mommy and daddy and all that stuff. And that, that creates a strain. But when she's gone, I miss her so much. It's so weird. And then so Friday, yeah, Friday, yeah, Friday, I took her to I had to put gas in the car for Shander for the weekend, so I drove the car to Costco, put gas in it. They drove the truck with the car seat to Goodwill. I got gas, went over and picked up the girl from Goodwill, and she and I went to Aldi, and then we went to Costco, and then we went and got her McDonald's. And we'll get into some stuff about stress eating here. We went and got fast food as well. Was it a mistake? Yes. Was it delicious? Also, yes. But we just and we'll get into the stress eating section of that in a little bit because there's a lot that we did and a lot that happens with that. And I don't know if we're the only ones. I imagine that others have that issue too. Like when things get really stressful and the time constraints is just, mm, we don't have the girl anymore. No, but she went home yesterday with mommy and daddy. They got home, they got back in town. Yeah. Jennifer says a message. You message me or did you? Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. No excuse. That's cute. Yeah, Jennifer sent me some messages. Yes. And Sean is asking, how is the living situation going? Do you still have extra people living at your house? Yes, yes, we do. Yes, yes, we do. So we still have our youngest and our bonus boy living here with us. They're going to be here for a while. The house that they moved out of, they went and they need to push back on it because they went in, they left this house, they rented a house for 2 years, I think, maybe 2 years they were at that house, at least a year or two, I think. And they were paying an amount that they could all afford. And then they decided to up their rent by $500 a month, which they could no longer afford. And so they decided to move out, and that's where we're at currently. And then they went and assessed all the damages, and they're like talking about landscaping fees and all this stuff, and it's like almost $10,000. It's crazy, crazy amount of money. So yeah, the boys will be here for a while, and they're pretty. They keep to themselves. Like when they're basically either at work or in their room. Um, the downside to them living here is the amount of junk food in our house. And we'll talk about that as well because that does lend itself too to some of that stress eating where things are easily accessible and they're adults. So it's difficult for us to say, you can't have the food of your choice in the house. I have told them, I'm like, your food choices make it difficult for me to be successful in the things that I would like to do. But I have to be a grown up and put my big boy pants on and realize that the world is not always catering to me. Granted, this is our house, but still, I have to just work at being stronger, I suppose. I don't have much of a choice because they're here for a while. And Jennifer says, full house plus the littles for a week. Cue last bug going around. Yeah, I hopefully we don't get that. Hopefully we don't get another bug going around. Oh my goodness. You know. Yes. Let's take a look here. Mark from X says, I sit at the table whenever the family eats. I feel like it makes me stronger. Yeah, and that's the thing is we've done that too over the years. And thank you for commenting from X. I appreciate that a lot, Mark. Um, yeah, and welcome, by the way. Um, that's one thing that I would do when I was doing the office jobs. I would fast throughout the day, and then I would come home and eat with the family because I figured if I took, especially when I was doing OMAD, one meal a day, if I ate that meal at work and then I came home and sat with the family, that would do one of two things. Either me just sit there and be weird, sitting there at the table with not eating any food, which is still awkward no matter how long you've been doing this. And I do it. I'll go out to dinner with friends and stuff and not eat anything, just have water, maybe a diet soda, something like that. And I decided that it was just easier to do OMAD and eat when I got home with the family. And I was also because if I did eat, then I may eat what they're eating anyway. So yeah. I truly appreciate this comment because that's a legitimate thing that happens. So, you know, I legitimately love that this is catching on. It really makes my day. Hi, Evil Lynn. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Andy says, yesterday, we celebrated my daughter's birthday and early Easter egg hunt with the toddler granddaughter. So much fun and memories made. That lodge was overrun with kids. OMG. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. And Mark says, being bored is my enemy. Yes. So if I'm busy, I'm fine. But when we sit down to watch TV at night, then like you start getting snacky feeling. And it's like, but can you stop just watching TV at night with your spouse? I mean, that's we kind of do get limited time together anyway. I mean, we may have more time together than the average couple because of our work life balance situation we have right now. But like we get to drink our coffee together in the morning for about an hour, and then at night we try to convene and watch some TV, that kind of stuff. Usually an hour or so of TV, depending on what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, just realistically, just not having a whole lot going on truly is an enemy to me because then when the boredom, you just start getting hungry. That's just a thing. And Sean says, you need to have a Skeletor laugh or a soundbite for Evelyn. Yes, I need to look at those and see if I can go in and get some sound clips off of YouTube of Skeletor and even I think Evelyn because she has talking bits. And let's see if she says anything cool. I can always break those down and edit those and do little clips and do things that and the other, you know. Holly Springer is in the house. Good morning, Holly. Thank you so much for being here, dear. People saying hello to each other. Jennifer's talking about her colonoscopy. Went well, so I've been invited for 3 more procedures. Not urgent, just complicated. Ah, well, keep us posted on all that, my dear. Hopefully everything is okay. Let's see. Evelyn says, hello, John, Jerry, John, Jacob, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Yes. People saying hello to more people. So let's talk about stress eating because it is one of the things that this week really showed us because especially when Chandra's stressed out, when we're both stressed out, it's very easy because then we don't have each other to fall back on. So when we're both stressed out, we then, I'll be like, "Do you want this?" And she'll be like, "Yes," and I'll go get it. So that's the way it works. So Friday night, we're out really late, and the girl was relatively good as far as 6-year-olds being out in the grocery store too long can be. And so we went and got her a McDonald's Happy Meal, and we went and got fast food for ourselves. And so went home and had that, and like the night of the storms, we went and we had Dairy Queen, and Dairy Queen is one of those things too because Dairy Queen ice cream isn't even ice cream, and it's not even good. It's just like cold and sweet, sort of. It's not have a good flavor, and it's like you get that stuff, and you're just kind of like, ugh. But it was close by, and the storms and that, and it is an excuse. And you do, and I do utilize stress as an excuse, and it's not something, and it's like I understand how it works. And addiction works that way, food addiction, and we can battle it as much as we want, but there's still going to be times that comes through, and we just make poor choices. So we just have to make the best we can, and that's why I'm always talking about consistency, because we're going to have things like the stress that breaks you down over time, especially when it's just a long period of stress, because we don't deal with a lot of stress. Shanna's life, our lives are really, relatively peaceful, and we do take care of the girl Monday through Friday. We'd get her up, we take her to school, we go and pick her up, we do what we got to do. And yeah, we have the boys living here, but they're not really bothering us too much. They don't really get in our way too much outside of having all the junk food in the house and filling up freezers full of junk food. Um, but I mean, it's not really that much worse than the stuff that we have in there for the girl. She likes chicken nuggets and hash browns, and trying to find things that she will actually eat on a consistent basis because she is so skinny. Like, she just won't eat. Like, she would rather do anything and everything else besides eat. And all those things kinda do put some little bit of a stress on us, but then, like, when it's a long period of stress and then me missing things that I wanted to do, not really being able to accomplish things that I had goals, and I've been really slacking on putting out content anyway, really just leaning on the lives, and I've got plenty of content to film, edit, and get out there for you guys, for everybody else, because I mean, again, what I want to do with this channel is help as many people as I can. And I feel that if I'm doing lives, I'm only doing a portion of that, and I'm not getting some of the most important information that people need to find to, that actually make them want to subscribe or stick around and then catch the lives. Because lives don't necessarily bring in a lot of new people. I mean, we got Mark from X and stuff like that, and that's really awesome, and I appreciate that. And I decided to stop streaming over to Facebook, so I'm not streaming to Facebook anymore, just for the fact that I get almost zero engagement from Facebook. Nobody watches, and then they're going to delete the content after 30 days. So really, for me, it doesn't make much sense because there's no longevity with that content being there. So I am currently streaming to YouTube, Twitter or X, and Rumble. I'm just trying out that platform to see how it goes. I know Dr. Barry's over there. Steve from Serious Keto is over there. A couple of other creators have gone over there as well. So I figured I would see how it goes with the lives and see if people are watching. And the first time, looks like we have one person watching over there. So that's pretty awesome. I appreciate you guys. You're over on that side of things watching. I appreciate that very much. Give us a comment, say hello, let us know you're watching. Because I know that the thing about that platform is that you can start. I think you can start getting money like right away. People can do super chats over there right away. You don't have to get some monetization goal. So like they do like Rumble rants or whatever it's called over there. So that's pretty interesting, and so we'll see how that goes. Um, we'll see. We'll see if that can grow and see how people enjoy it and see. There's one person now, two people next week, four. You know what I mean? It'll grow. Jennifer says we need a soundbite of Evelyn's twirling bracelet device. Yeah. And Rick says stress eating. Ooh, I'm an expert at that right now. 100%. So, we've had like pizza a couple times. We went to the Duck Bin bowling place and had pizza. We went and got pizza one like so the night before. Like, the girl went home that Friday night, and then she was coming back Saturday and was going to be here for the next week. So we went and we got our own selves pizza. And should we have done it? No. But it was a funny kind of experience because we got Noble Roman's pizza. Noble Romans, there's two types of Noble Romans in our town, or in Indiana, really, for that matter. There's the original one, like over off of 10th and Girls School, which is like a time capsule. You walk back into the 90s. It's dark. All the fixtures are the same. The video games are the same. The window you can watch and make the pizzas is the same. All of it is the same. The decor, the music on the jukebox, everything. And they make the best pizza. And at least for us right now. And there's also these Noble Romans craft pizza places. So, Shander had the boy tell us, "What do you want? We'll get you a pizza. We'll get a pizza for you. What do you want?" And he just goes and pulls up the first one and gives me something off of the craft pizza menu. And I call and I'm trying to order it. And the lady's like, "What are you talking about? We don't have that." And I'm like, "Okay, here's the deal. So I have no idea what my son's talking about, but this is what we need. If you have something like that, put it together and he'll eat it." Yeah, so that's what that happened. And then, like, just bad decisions, giving in to stress, giving in to pressure. And I just want people to know, like, I don't come here asking for forgiveness. I don't come here trying to, try and I never tell anybody that cheating or going off plan is okay for anybody. I know it's going to happen. I always tell people that if it happens, you have to keep going. You can't beat yourself up over it because we're all human and that's what happens. We just have these things happen. So that's why I try to make sure that we talk about this. There's transparency with this channel because we make mistakes. We're not perfect. And I don't want to be that creator that comes here and says, "We never, no, we never." And then we're back and going, "Oh, no, no." No, that's not us. We are humans. We're nowhere near perfect. And that's why, and that's important to talk about because we all have stress in our lives and we all have things that break down and for decades and decades food has been a constant when it comes to stress. It's always a comforting measure. And I don't know truly how to 100% get away from it. We mitigate it most of the time by, eating clean and staying on track, and usually for us not having anything in the house that can cause us to go astray. But as recent months have been with the boys being here and the extra stress, and then the added stress, and then there being all kinds of things in the freezers and stuff, it's difficult sometimes and we just have to learn to get through it. It's not going to be easy, but we're strong enough to get through it for the most part. Are we going to slip up? 100% we are. Because, we're never, it's 0% that we're going to be perfect. It's always 100% that we're going to make mistakes. Now, it's in the between and how consistent we can maintain everything is going to be how we win. Because being human means you're going to make mistakes. Being human means there's going to be stress, things that happen that you can't control, and you're going to default to the lowest, easiest thing to do, and that's just eat that comfort food. And now your mileage may vary, your perception of things may be different, and how you handled stress throughout your life may be different. But I know for me and the way my mom raised me, and it was always comfort food, comfort food, comfort food, and that was always something that, like, for me, when I wasn't feeling good or when I was going through bad things, I just eat bad food because it made me feel good in the short term. Now, are my joints bothering me? 100%. Are my knees bothering me? 100%. Like, I went to bed the other night and then I woke up and my foot hurt for no reason. Like, okay, this is how this works. Or like I sleep like garbage when we eat bad food. Now, the problem is when I'm eating bad food, I will fall asleep instantly. Like head on the pillow, out. Hour and a half later, I gotta pee. So I get up and then I'm feeling like total garbage because all that stuff is coming back up and I've got indigestion, heartburn comes back, and I've got the pillow stacked up behind me and I'm sitting up or I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, doom scrolling on my phone, trying to, and then I've got some Tums and I'm throwing those in. I'm trying to just sitting there just scrolling on my phone. Even with all of that, even with the knowledge, even understanding how much better you feel when you are on plan and on track, it is surprising to me that knowing how bad I feel when I'm not on track, how much the good feeling I get while I'm going off track negates the bad feeling after. Because realistically, I know that being on track, I feel better. Realistically, I know that how I feel in the end, how I feel while I'm eating that food is amazing. I feel great because I have the things that I've been wanting for a while. I mean, it could be ramen noodles, it could be chicken nuggets, it could be pizza, macaroni and cheese, whatever the indulgence is at the time, a big bowl of ice cream. I don't know, whatever the indulgence is. And I feel fantastic in the moment. Then when it's gone, and then the sleepiness starts to kick in, then the heartburn comes in, and then the indigestion, and then the sleepless night comes in, and then my joints start bothering me, and my knee is bothering me, and then I'm like, and I don't feel right. But knowing all of that, understanding and being through this hundreds of times through my life, how that can still be a thing that you decide to do. That's the power of addiction. That's the power of food over us. Food, because we can't not eat ever. We can't just stop eating forever. Food is forever going to play a role in our lives. And it is a very fine line with the foods that we decide to eat because it's all fun and games doing triple B and E, eating steak and burgers and such. And then like say you decide, you know what? I'm gonna throw in some of those zero carb tortillas or zero carb tortillas that are actually 7 grams total carbs each, the little ones. And you have 10 of those, that's 70 total carbs on top of whatever you just put in it. So that's a big deal. Then that creeps in, and then you just and then like and then the boys are here and they've got food, and then stress, and then that comes out, and then you're having pizza. It's just one of those things, like it's just crazy how easy it is to backslide sometimes. Because that's and again, that's why I am so adamant about consistency. I just trimmed all my nose hairs. So now my nose is itchy because I trimmed the nose hairs. But if I let them grow, then it itches because they're there. Now, I don't know what the happy medium is. But anyway, I digress. But the idea that it's such a fine line And I know for some of you, like even some of the people that, are doing carnivore, even just some sucralose or some stevia will throw you off balance. Just, the tortillas will do it. The low carb breads, Quest bars, whatever the case is. You just have to kind of get to where you know what's going on. And even still, even like when I'm doing good and I'm going to the grocery store, most of the time I can go down any aisle that I need to go down to get whatever it is I need because no matter what, there's always things in the center aisles that you do need. But I can usually just keep things out of my mind and not worry about it. But then there are those days where I'm like, oh, you see something new on on an end cap or a center aisle thing. They'll be like, oh, and you're like, why didn't they have this when I was able to eat whatever I wanted? And I still try to maintain the mentality that I can eat whatever I want. I'm a grown up, I'm an adult, I'm 45 years old. I can eat whatever I want. With that, though, comes the mentality that what I want to eat has shifted. So, what I choose to eat and what I eat is my power. I have to have power over that. I can't make excuses. I do. I make excuses all the time, but I shouldn't. And, and I think for me, growing and being a better version of myself is understanding that these distractions, these pitfalls are not going to go away. They're not going to stop making new things that I want to eat. They're not going to stop making the things. Well, they do stop making things that you like sometimes because I've gone back and tried to find things that I want and they're gone. And that's the problem too. When I do find new low carb things that I like, they're just disappear. Um, that happens because it's a hard business to get into. It's a hard business to crack. But I digress again on that. But just trying to get myself to a place where I'm stronger than the temptations. And for the most part, I do a good job. And we're 9 years into this lifestyle. 9. And if it wasn't for this lifestyle, I might be bedridden, not be able to walk, maybe had a heart attack or two. I don't know. Because the path I was going down was a scary one, where I was living that off the rails life every day. So while I live this life as cleanly as I possibly can, and those bad days creep in, where they're even sometimes if they're a 2 week thing, that still creeps in. But I'm smart enough to know that it can't become the normal because of how I feel. And thankfully, I understand and I am able to see how the differences affect me and how I feel. Wake up in the morning, why does my foot hurt? Why are my fingers throbbing today? Why do I have a headache for no reason? All of these things are indicators that I've been doing something I shouldn't be doing. And I'm thankful for that tactile response because I didn't feel that way. I didn't, okay, I should say I felt bad all the time before. So before starting keto, I felt bad all the time. But that was the normal. When your normal is just feeling bad and you don't know what feeling good feels like, how can you make better choices? So now, 9 years in, I know what feeling bad feels like, and I know what feeling good feels like, and I know what I need to do to feel good, and I know what happens and what triggers me to eat the bad things that makes me feel bad. So I have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. But unfortunately, sometimes even having the knowledge and putting it into action isn't always going to work out to my benefit, or I'm never, I mean, I should say not to my benefit, but it's not going to cause me to not do the things I know I shouldn't do. Because sometimes the allure of it is just too grand. The idea of indulging is too good. It's too good. And again, that's the addiction side of it. It's like smoking cigarettes. When I used to smoke, while I was smoking, out having a good time, awesome. And you wake up in the morning, you're hacking and you're coughing, and you're like, oh, like felt like a porcupine crawled down your throat. Not good. And you know it's the cigarettes. But what do? You wake up and you light another one. So between cigarettes and all this bad food I've put behind me, cigarettes, I haven't had cigarettes in 15 years. And I still dream about it. Now, thankfully, I don't follow through and smoke a cigarette. But the food aspect, I've been working on getting stronger and getting away from those food addiction issues of mine for 9 years. Now, not the entirety of the 9 years that I understand the full gravity of my food addiction. And that's only been in the last like maybe 4 or 5 years. Have I truly understood the gravity of my food addiction? But I'm still working towards being better. But it doesn't mean it's not going to get me sometimes. And thankfully for me, like, I mean, at least for right now, like me going and having a pizza isn't gonna, me having a pizza on a Friday night, doing what I know I shouldn't do, outside of feeling really bad the next day. There's at least there's no you can't OD on pizza as far as I'm aware. But anyway, let's get back to some of these comments. Jeff says, hit the thumbs up. Please, please, please hit the thumbs up. That truly makes a difference. Like I made a short the other day. I made a short about the about Keto Chow's new flavor. 1,500 views and 14 likes. So if you guys go over and watch that short, make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. Because the thumbs up and letting it play and getting like, letting it play through once or twice helps it go out to more people. Because the more people who see it, the more people know about Keto Chow, the more likely they may be to buy it. Helps Keto Chow, helps me, helps you. You know how it is, right? Eva Lynn says, I'm stress fasting right now. Does that count? Yes, it does. And I think we have to be careful because we don't want to, like, it's easy to, in some aspects, go off and do what I've done for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and then go, well, I'm going to fast now for a whole week. Now, is that a fasting that I had planned? Is that a fast that's going to be something that's beneficial to me? Maybe, but I don't want to get the mentality that I'm retaliatory, like I'm retaliating myself with fasting. I don't want fasting to be the the thing that I do when I slip up. I want fasting to be part of a healthy thing for myself. I like to fast once or twice a year, like 7 days, couple of 24-hour fasts, some 48-hour fasts, just kind of throwing things in there. Yeah. But I am proud of you, Evelyn. If you're fasting, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Even still, I'm proud of you no matter what, because you're an amazing person, Evelyn. And Sean says, that's the best thing about living in BFE. The closest fast food joint is 15 minutes away. We can cook burgers, chaffles quicker than we can go get something. DoorDash doesn't even deliver out here. Oh my goodness. That's the thing is like for us, where we live used to be BFE. It is slowly becoming not, or very quickly becoming not BFE. Like where we're living, like now there's the warehouses on the end of our, at the edge of our neighborhood. And that's, we'll talk about Slick City in a minute. But to support those warehouses, they've put like new roads and new infrastructure in, which means it's easier for us to get to the highway. We can just pop right through. And now, right there where the warehouse, there's a new McDonald's, there's a Starbucks, and there's a whole bunch of land they're plowing through right now that used to be cornfield and soybean fields. And they're going to be putting in a gas station there. And then up a ways, about a couple miles away, they're going to be putting a new Meijer in. and a few miles after that, there's a Wawa that's going to be opening soon. Um, so there's gonna like the temptation's getting closer and closer and closer to us. So, I mean, there's always going to be something like in the middle of BFE where like what your only options is maybe a Dairy Queen and a Dollar General, but you know, well, there's fasting as a stressor on the body, but I think it's also, but it's a good stressor. Like exercising is stress on the body. Sauna is a stress on the body. Cold plunges are a stress on the body, but they're good stresses. They make you stronger. They make you better. Yeah. Let's see. Oddly, Dairy Queen vanilla soft serve always tasted like soap to me. Luckily I didn't have that. I guess. The ducklings demand duck food. Sometimes, Rick, and I know you've been out of the game for a very long time, so it's a very different perception for you. But for those of us who are very just a couple of years away from eating all that stuff, like it's the temptation's real. Addiction is real. And I know you probably haven't had I don't know if you've been addicted to anything, if you ever smoked or drank or anything like that, but those things are hard to walk away from. They're ingrained into us. And I think there's probably even a genetic coding about binging and stuff at a certain point in our DNA because of how of survival. And I imagine those things get crossed over and the way we handle them with the newly available everything all the time. I mean, I can't say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week now, but I mean still, no matter where you live, no matter where you are, there's probably something open to get something you don't need. I mean, we've got gas stations a block from us that are open 24 hours a day. They've got ice cream, they've got frozen pizzas. You're gonna pay a premium for that, but you can still get it, and there's always gonna be restaurants somewhere out there that are 24 hours a day. There's still a couple of IHOPs around that are 24 hours. Maybe a White Castle. I mean, most things now close. Like the pandemic truly shifted the way we consume things, and like grocery stores are only open till 11 or 12 now, instead of being all the time. So I mean, a lot of us are coming very, very short out of this, and I mean, Rick is an outlier. Rick is one of those people that started doing this lifestyle when he was like 15 years old or something along those lines. And I'm sure he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of like, you know, our friend um Caleb. Caleb's carnivore quest. He's getting into this at 15, 16 years old. So by the time he's Rick's age, he may have the same mentality as Rick. And a lot of us are starting this such a late in life that we won't have that much time. So it's almost always going to be a constant battle for us. And Booby Goat says that's right, 30 minutes from everything. Yeah, it only sucks when it's a true emergency to go somewhere. Yeah. We are the champions. Yes. Duck pin bowling exists. So we had an old bowling alley and it got bought out by a bigger company and they went in and remodeled the whole place and it's nice. It's a nice facility now. Like everything's super nice. There's a nice arcade, restaurant, bars, everything. It's and even upstairs there's private bowling, like two or like I think it's maybe 4 lanes of private bowling upstairs, whole space to have parties and all that stuff. And then they have 4 duck pin bowling lanes. We'd never went duck pin bowling before. It's a completely different experience from regular bowling, but so much more fun. And the girls that are able to manage the ball, and it's a lot more fun. Rick says, saying hi to Sean. Let's see. It does. There's 2 bowling places an hour away from me. Yeah, I mean, this was very short up to us. I mean, it's not very far from us. Jerry says, "Sorry, gang. Caught up, doing all the things. Hello, Evelyn." Okay. So let's see. We would go to say, "Do you feel bad after eating all that crap food? My husband always seems to feel very tired and irritable." Yeah, I mean, I get tired. I'll fall asleep in the chair sometimes. But then my problem is then usually wake up a few hours later and I'm awake because I feel like crap. Then my joints are bothering me. There's just and it's like and I know better. And I know better, I know better, I know better. But sometimes no matter how much you know, no matter how under you can know, but that sometimes it just gets you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Andy says, daughter requested an apple cake for her birthday. I made a regular version. Let's see, Ava's key version, Granny Smith apples, very tart, not sweet, worked out well. Oh, that's cool. And I'm not even against apples sometimes. You know, apples to me are I like apples. We go to the apple orchard once a year and I'll eat a couple apples that day. I mean, it wasn't apples that made me fat, you know what I mean? But now I have to be careful after I eat those apples. Is that going to lead to something else? Then I have to understand that, you know. Let's see. And Sean's telling Rick that the bowling alley that my wife and I met at is still standing in the duck pin bowling. I don't remember trying to eat the pins though. And he says she took the cake home, and I'm eating the apple. I'm eating the apple cake that's almond and coconut flour. Yeah, I don't like you. I wish you could edit YouTube comments. Maybe one of these days you'll be able to do that. I don't know. Let's see. Jennifer Lucas says, consider a gimmick when you want to drive by snacking like 10 push ups or you must fit 20 puzzle pieces first. I don't think that doesn't work on me. That kind of mind tricks doesn't work for me, unfortunately. I wish it did. Cindy DeManch is in the house. Good morning. I miss you, Cindy. I didn't get a chance to catch your lives this week. I didn't catch anybody lives Friday night. So busy this last week. But I'm back. I'm here. And I missed you guys. Chris Cooking Nashville is in the house. He says hello. Smiley face or heart face, star face, scar face. Say hello to my little friend. And Heather P says dopamine response. 1000%. There's always a dopamine response. I mean, that's like one of those things like you know how good you're going to feel when you're eating it. Like the even just buying it, putting it in the cart, knowing you're going to ordering the pizza. I mean, there's some things that we do from time to time that we eat like cheat meals that really don't throw us off track as bad. Like sushi doesn't throw us off track because it's not really a sweet thing, and I think rice is a lot better for us than a lot of things. And so sushi and Thai food, those don't typically cause us to want to eat bad things, but pizza and other things do. So we have to be very, very careful. And like I said, it's not necessarily something that we plan to do, but it's one of those things that, they just kind of creep in. And then like, but when we're not, when we end up on the same page and we're like, yes, let's do it. And we're both like in agreement, it's over. We can't, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Am I sardine hungry? I'll fast. Yeah. John says, I'm getting ready to head out to go to church. Well, thank you so much for being here. You're probably already gone as it's 20 minutes ago. Glad you're back, Dustin. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, John, for being here. Chris is saying hello to folks, and people are saying hello to Chris and Cindy and telling John to have a great day. We're going through the times here. People saying hello, hello, hello. Yeah, hello to Ash and Mel. We can't forget Mel. Oh, Chris, how did your podcast go yesterday with Dr. Kiltz? How was the how was the setup? I was kind of hoping it'd be kind of a cool place. I was really bummed I didn't get to go. Let's see. Looking at these things. Jennifer says, I'm making a couple batches of CC and tortillas for Easter. We're doing taco bar. Ooh, that sounds good. Ash is here. The beautiful Ash is here. Good morning, beautiful lady. Hello, all you beautiful friends. Mel and I are cuddled up on the couch this morning, excited to watch Uncle Dustin and have a coffee. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to see you guys. Oh my goodness. I mean, like it was funny because Chris and Ash have been like super busy the last like 2 weeks. Like they've been to California, they've been doing stuff. So like I reached out to Victor. I'm like, you know what? You got to entertain me. That he's been busy, and then like he's camping, and I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, and then not having you guys, like, it's been a rough week. So like on top of the stress of having the girl and doing all the things and knowing that they're driving to Florida and there's a death and all that stuff and all these things happening, and then not being able to be around you guys, that's even a bigger stressor to me. Like that's probably one of the bigger stressors is not having you guys, just not having a chance to connect with you guys, and even just making some posts on YouTube, on YouTube posts and stuff. And, I mean, that doesn't always help me, but I mean, man, or as our middle kid would say, bruh. Oh my goodness. Stephanie is here. Hello, Stephanie. I'm glad to see you. She says, good morning, everybody. Sherry Lynn is in the house. She says, good morning, everyone. I haven't been in a couple of months and way off plan. Got back on board last week, though. Well, welcome back. No matter how long you're off, you're always welcome. No matter what happens, even if you're off track, join us. Be here. Because I will tell you from this last week's experience, not having this community is a huge detriment to my mental health, my physical health, and my ability to walk away from things that I know better about. And so stress plays a part in that. And then just the absence of this community takes a toll on me. And it's one of those duh moments, but hmm, but yeah, it's just, I think that's the hardest part is when it's like when you start going off track, and then you don't want to be around people because you don't want them to know you're off track. But then, like, the more you're away from people, the harder it is to get back on track because we're the ones that help guide you and help make sure that things work real well and all that stuff, Like, yeah. But this community is the most important aspect of living this lifestyle because here you understand me. Here I understand you. Here we have a connection and there's no judgment, just all of the things. Not to say that that doesn't happen at home, but at home, like I said, there's traps here. There didn't used to be for years and years. We didn't have things to entrap us, and now they're here. And I do my absolute best to avoid those things, but I still don't always succeed. And that's where being here is truly helpful. Evelyn says, I came home from an overstressed week after getting kids on vans. I was freezing from the wet, cold weather. I went to sleep. Carl and the girls tried to wake me. I didn't wake until 10 p.m., Cindy. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you just gotta have to just hibernate. That was pretty much what happened with me yesterday because the girl left and I was like, I'm sleeping. And then I got up and had my coffee and just kind of made some food, which was not the best food. I had chicken nuggets. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's been rough. Rough, rough, rough. So we're talking about the meetup on April 26th. What meetup is April 26th? Let me see. Let me see. I don't even know if I know what's going on here. Is it? Are we talking about low carb events, Stephanie? I know we're like 20 minutes behind here, like 23 minutes behind. Yeah, I don't see anything for April 26th on low carb events, so I'm not sure what April 26th is. Is that one that's that the one that's yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to go to that one or not. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't know. I think that might be the is that Brett's or the one that Brett's talking about? Let's see. Chris says, "Okay, I'm sitting down with coffee now. What's good news of the day? What's the letter of the day?" Oh, Rick says, "Speaking of stress, I'm heading out to my friend's diner for an omelet. Enjoy. That's very important. Getting together with friends is so important. Omelets are delicious. I love omelets. Cindy's right. Booby Goats says, I was 250 pounds, bad veins, heart attack any day. Thank God I found carnivore, lost 80 pounds, and feeling awesome. I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad that you found carnivore. Anybody that finds keto, carnivore, any of these things that can help you, anything in line with a proper human diet, truly appreciate that because I want all of you to live and enjoy life and be here as long as you can because your company is great and I enjoy it very much. Taco bar sounds good. Jennifer says, I'll be going to Wolfie's on the 26th. I might be able to join you. Just we'll have to see how work goes. If I have a job, what's going on. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Chris says, from time to time, I still have dreams about eating junk and drinking soda. In the dreams, I'm panicking and questioning why I'm doing it. It's actually really stressful. Goes to show how deep it runs. Yeah, that's the thing that happens to me with smoking cigarettes. That's a legitimate thing that happens to me. Like, for real. Booby thought she was subscribed to your channel, Cindy, but she had to subscribe again. Hit the thumbs up. See, I hit the thumbs up and shook my booty. That's bound to help, right? If only I had some dollar bills on me. I don't have any dollar bills in my Lilo and my Stitch pajama pants, so I don't have any dollar bills to tuck for you there, Chris. But I would. There we go. Tanya's in the house. Kitchen Witch. Good morning, rock stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ash says, Dustin, we really missed your weekly lives. You've become such a special part of our routine and community. Yeah, oh man, it's just so rough me missing it because it's one of those things like legitimately I miss it when I'm not here. Like, there's a void. There's a void here. And you don't realize, I mean, I've been doing these for over a year and a half, I think maybe even longer. Because one of the things I did, I tried to share the first two Sunday morning coffees that I did with you guys in the absence of last week, and I know some of you guys went and watched those, and I'm sure they're terrible. Not knowing what I'm talking about, what's going on, wasn't prepared. You know how it goes. Andy says 17 likes now on that short. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Ash says, so glad you were able to take time off. Just wanted you to know you're truly been missed. Glad you're back live this morning. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad we got a chance to spend all the time with the girl, as stressful as that is. And missing you guys is stressful, but that time with her is very special. And she drives us bananas, but Yes. And just the overall missing of a routine is difficult. Like when you get into a routine and then that really kind of gets shuffled and you're like, okay. And it was also because it was such a last minute thing and there wasn't even really any room for them to be cordial and ask us. It was, we have to do this and it's got to happen now. That stresses us out. And it's like, okay, now I've got to go and I've got to, got to make sure that I email everybody that I need to email and let them know I'm not coming and doing the things I'm going to be doing. Yeah. Evelyn says, I work with a lot of toxic people and we had state testing this week. So everyone was very stressed out and the intensifies the toxicity. Thanks for caring, Cindy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine. That's state testing. A baloo is a bear. A baloo is a bear. Ash Taylor, you are the sweetest. You and Chris, the both. $1.99 super sticker, super thanks. Thank you so much for you. Thank you for what you guys do. You guys are amazing. Oh, look at that. Missed you. Well, thank you so much, Tanya. I missed you guys too so very much. Yeah, and this is kind of my thoughts too, Chris. Is like I believe you shouldn't use fasting as a way to punish yourself. It should be a positive choice, not a negative one. Yeah, like sometimes for me, I like it as a convenience. Sometimes I'll fast just because it's either convenience or like it means it keeps me on track or I'm going to do something and eat something that I don't want. So I mean that's like I'll go to dinner or sometimes like if I'm going to go out to dinner with somebody and I will eat something before I go so that I'm less likely to want to put something bad in my body. But yeah, I try to make sure that fasting is a positive thing for me. Food delivery for me is a duck waddling into my yard or a frozen iguana falling out of a tree. Ducks and steak. Aaron and Cindy. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh, you guys. Cindy with a $10 super chat. We missed you, Dustin. Diston. She missed me, Diston. I'm glad you're back and all is well. Well, I tried to make that announcement not seem so scared, but I guess it didn't work. Because everyone's like, are you okay? Are you guys like even people that aren't really associated with this community are like, are you okay? You guys okay? And I'm like, we're okay. It's like not. I tried to make sure there was like a line that said we weren't bad. It was just a lot going on all at once, and it wasn't like anything was bad. I mean, yes, Cheyenne lost her great grandmother, and that's never a pleasant thing to experience. But it wasn't. I mean, it was just a time thing for her getting down there fast enough. So yeah. Evil Lynn with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, dear. We missed you. Glad the beard is back. I'm glad to be back. You have no understanding of how important you guys are to me. I'm truly, truly. Oops, Dustin. Oops, I did it again. Holly says, I look at it as when I eat something I shouldn't now instead of feeling bad about it, reminds myself I'm no longer on the roller coaster of losing and gaining. Yeah, 100%. Because no matter how bad, like if I go a week and I eat so many bad things, I'm still not in the same situation that I was 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. So yeah, Rick says I had never had any of the I never smoked or had any other addictions except to the meats. Yeah, and so I mean it's like so it's difficult, I think, for you to understand. And maybe I mean, I'm sure you can understand, but it's difficult for you to relate. And I think I think you do a good job here of understanding, that not everybody, that most people, I should say, most people are not going to be like you, Rick. You are the exception and we are the rule, most likely, or more in line with that because of the fact that it's more difficult these days to live a lifestyle like you, Rick. I mean, I should say it's easier now than it's been in the last couple of decades. But those of us who are trying to get there have to undo decades and decades of damage, trauma, addiction to get there. And it's very difficult, takes a lot of time. And, Cindy says never smoked, rarely had a drink or two when I was much younger. Yeah, I used to drink a lot more when I was younger. I don't really drink much now unless we're like on a beach somewhere. Even then, it's going to be, I mean, then it's usually something fruity, sweet, and delicious because we're on the beach. But, you know, Rick says, I've never ate anything from a gas station or a drive-through. Oh my. See, that's the thing is like you're just a complete outlier. I mean, and I understand that, that's awesome. And I'm very proud of you for that because that's a lot to avoid over the years. You've avoided a lot. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing that you are a person that's done that. I'm sure you're not the only one. But, gas station hot dogs, all those things. Those I used to love the what like Speedway gas station is called like tornadoes or whatever. And they've got like it's like a tortilla, like a crispy tortilla shell on the outside with like pepper jack cheese on the inner. That's so good. They're so bad, but they're so like they're just designed to be delicious in the moment, and then ugh, yeah. Karen Harrington says, "Good day, all." Well, thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you. Have a good day. Yeah, I mean, you're such a very special case. Yeah. And Chris said, smoking or alcohol or stronger drugs were never an issue for me, but man, was my soda and junk food addiction bad. Unaliving myself slowly, not so slowly at times because of it. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, used to smoke, and I was probably thinner when I smoked because I would smoke instead of eat sometimes because, you know, just you'd sit there and like the boredom, the food wasn't the issue. When you're a smoker, when you get your body wants the tobacco over everything else. So that was one of those things. So I probably ate a lot less. Didn't eat better, but I ate less, if that makes sense. And then yeah, soda. I still have soda in the house, but I have the diet soda, which is debatably worse or better. I don't know. Depends on your take on it. Yeah, this is a question right here. So, Rick, are you saying from Brian, Rick, are you saying your parents before you started eating this way never took you to McDonald's? Yeah, that's crazy because I remember going to like Burger Chef and McDonald's and all that stuff when I was a very young kid. You know, Cindy says, whenever I eat something off plate, it never bothers me, not in my joints, gut, etc. Well, that's good. I don't wish this on anybody. This sucks. Like having like sore toes. Or Paul McGrogan is here. Good morning, Paul. Thank you for being here. Truly, truly appreciate you being here. Jerry says, yesterday, I broke down at a full bag of carnivore crisps, a pound of aged cheddar microwaved into crisps, 10 ounces of sour cream. Stress eating is a thing. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't really matter what your choices are. I mean, you can sit there and eat like 2 dozen deviled eggs or whatever. Stress eating is stress eating, no matter what you're putting into your body. But luckily, sometimes if you are putting your stress eating with the things that you should be eating, it's a lot easier to handle. But yeah, stress eating is a very, very valid thing that happens to a lot of us. And Rick says, Dustin is giving us some wisdom about those of us who started out early. I have to remind myself people still deal with addictions like food, tobacco, narcotics, porn, and sex, shopping. I don't understand the pornography thing. And I know that this is a growing thing that I see. I see it in our community, and it's growing and growing. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know like who it's impacting or how it's impacting them, but like I just don't understand. Like I don't know. It's a tool like any other thing as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't impact my life in a negative way. I guess I don't know. I don't know, but people put that and lump those together, and maybe it's something. But I think like younger generations utilize things differently than we do. I guess so. I don't know. I mean, and it's probably not something we should be talking about here because it'll probably give us some kind of demonetization or whatever. So but I'm always curious to see why that's coming up more and more. Where I don't necessarily see it as a problem, but I mean that's my perception. Rick says, "Oh, I went 6 hours live yesterday just to keep getting longer. Eventually, I think whatever service you're using won't let you. If you're just going straight through YouTube, then it's probably not a problem. But I know some of these platforms have like 6 or 8 hour limits. If you eat apples, you become apple shit. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if you're eating apples on top of everything else, or you're eating apple pies, but like I have like 2 or 3 apples a year, whole apples, and then maybe an apple slice here or there. If the girl has one, she'll give me slices of apple sometimes, or I have a couple pieces of like mandarin orange or the cuties or whatever. A little bit of fruit here and there, it doesn't bother me. Like when first she was got into grapes for a while. And so she was eating grapes, and I was like, "Oh, I had a couple of grapes, and those were really, really good. Those are so sweet. Those are a little hard to not eat sometimes, but usually I'm okay with not eating grapes. That kind of got that out of my system. But right? I mean, if you're eating 2, 3 apples a day, maybe. But I mean, even with the carb count and the sugar, I don't know. It's like and I know that apples are kind of coming in the fall, and they're designed to help fatten you up for the winter. But I just don't know, like, if you're an average person, you have an apple here or there, it's not gonna be that big of a deal, unless it is a big deal for you specifically. But on whole, the generalization, I don't think apples and oranges are that big of a deal. I think it's more apple juice, orange juice, that type of thing. Sean says, "Coconut cream pie waffles for breakfast this morning. Tell us how they are." Chris said, "I've started doing 10 squats every time I want to eat. Doesn't keep me from eating, but adds exercise and makes me stop to ask if I'm actually hungry." Yeah, maybe I need to do that too, but I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I mean, maybe it will. We'll have to see. Carl's in the house. Morning, Carl. How are you doing, my friend? Cindy says, "I still don't have my coconut cream pie keto chow. Sadly, I ordered it the day I found out it showed up." Well, if you would have come to the meetup, you would have got some. You would have had four. If the guinea pig came with you, you'd have had 4 packets. Four, four, 440, 444. But we missed you and we love you. And I'm sorry you didn't get your free packets. Bride's Biscuits is here. Sup, fam? I understand addiction completely. Just from my lifelong struggle with carbs, I've sabotaged and injured myself even after I knew better. Some of us just have to walk the line. That's the thing is, no matter how good and how well you know yourself, it's still going to happen. And I think for me, understanding myself and setting myself up for success is a huge part of my victory. But in a situation that I'm in right now, where I have less control over what's in the house, then it is something that's more difficult for me. So I understand completely. Rick says, "Pizza is so nasty." I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I don't understand. Like, pizza is one of the biggest and hardest things for me to avoid. It's delicious. I don't understand how somebody can go, "That's gross." It doesn't that doesn't compute in my brain. Coffee, I understand that you don't like coffee. I understand if you don't like certain things, but pizza, like pizza's just one of those things that is absolutely delicious. Like from the I mean, it can be now there's not so good pizza and there's phenomenal pizza. There's a spectrum of how good a pizza is from like like the worst pizza to me would be like those take home pizzas from Walmart, like the ones up front in the deli. Their crust is weird. It's like a thick crackery. It's just not a good texture. And then like you get into like the cheaper frozen pizzas into like the gooder ones like DiGiorno and stuff. Like the stuffed crust ones, the rising crust ones, into different restaurants. Like I imagine there's gas station pizza probably isn't all that great, and you're getting into like Little Caesars, the $5 pizzas, into the other fast food places, the fast pizza places, into you know what I mean. That's just one of those things. I just don't understand how someone go pizza's gross because it's not. It's delicious, and that is a heel I will die on. Like I don't know. I know I can't eat it, but I can make pizza substitutions that are just as good sometimes. Sometimes that crust with like the the yeasty flavor. Oh, so good. Ugh. Ugh. Carnivore Dan is in the house. Good morning, sir. Trying a new stream. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you find this enjoyable. I'm here every Sunday, most of the time, not last week, but most Sundays I'm here. Tuesdays, my wife and I get together and we do a stream. Join us. Chris said the Dr. Kilt's podcast was great. The podcast studio was baller. Had a great time. He's such a sweet guy. We had a great time. Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad that it turned out well. I think I'll be doing something sometime with him in the near future. I don't know how near, but yeah, I'll be doing probably a live with him early butt crack in the morning when he does his. We'll have to figure out when that happens. Yeah, I mean, there's always things you got to watch out for. The soybean oil they use and all that stuff. And I mean, yeah. I mean, really, you can make your own just tomato paste and some tomatoes and throw a little olive oil in there and spices, and it's perfect. Delicious. And let's see. Tanya says, I looked at sushi, just looked, had so much carbs in one serving as I have in a week. Yeah, I mean, it's very carby, but like, I don't get it's an enjoyable experience and I don't get the cravings afterwards. So it's one of those things we don't go very often, but we do get it a couple times a year because it's something we can go and enjoy as a date night, or we'll go with the family and we can all enjoy it. We all like it and we can all get different flavor profiles, and there's really not a lot of flavor profiles you can get. I mean, it's just good. I don't know. And it doesn't trigger me to want to eat bad stuff. But I mean, if I ate it all the time, I'd be huge. But it's a lot of carbs, sure, but it doesn't trigger me to eat more carbs. It is a lot of carbs for sure. Rougher and rougher. I'm not kidding. That's right. Telling you the truth. Chris says community is vital. When you get well, especially when you get off track, you just have to understand you can rely on them and it's not a reason to be embarrassed. Supporting our community is everything. 1000%. And this week being so busy, I didn't even get a chance to step into as many people's lives as I would like to, or even watch many of them. Um, Even the ones I even got a chance to say hi, it was like a hi, and then we were leaving, we were at dinner, we were doing whatever. So it's very difficult sometimes for that, and I need that in my life. Spring fever, that too, because spring hasn't sprung here. We had a few days of spring a couple of weeks ago. Got to like 80 degrees. and then it's been in like the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Like currently, right now, it's 48 degrees here. I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's not crazy, but it's been chilly. Community and lots of red fatty meat to fix you. 100%. It's not on low carb events. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I may go if I can. Um, I just don't know. I don't know what my schedule's going to be like yet. It's hard for me to plan at this point. Anyone going to May 3rd in Florida? I will not be there as I'm in the Midwest, so I can't make it down to Florida. I know trying to make it down to Alabama in October. Hopefully, sometime we'll either be between Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, and Pensacola. Yeah, we're gonna try to be down there. I don't know if anybody lives down there or not. How far people live from there. Probably not a lot of people living down there, I don't think. Bride's biscuit experiment with OMAD ending for now. I personally can't eat enough in a single fed window. Back to 16.8, I can get closer to what the general consensus on protein macros that way. Yeah, and that's the thing is that's the good thing about trying these things out. How does it work for you? How realistic is it for you? Like for someone like me, OMAD, I can eat a pound and a half of beef and be okay in one sitting. Maybe add some eggs on top of it. But does that work for you? And if it doesn't, then there's always 16.8, 18.4 or 18.6, whatever works, whatever works. But the thing is, there's plenty of options here. Brenda Foley is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I somehow got 25 minutes behind. Oh my goodness, goodness, goodness. Let's see. Yeah, Rick's asking about the meetup in Florida. Oh, I already got this one. Okay. Brenda I says, I have a sickening headache this morning. I have been forever since I've had one. Oh, get some electrolytes, some caffeine, maybe if you're a coffee drinker. Wait, only 4 thumbs up? Hit those thumbs up, people. Where's my mouse? There we go. Says and so. Hollow Notes. I love Hollow Notes. They're so good. Shelly King is in the house. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Shelly. Thank you for being here, my dear. I missed you. Having some Coco Loco. And my coffee says Brenda. People saying hello. 27 more days of school. Who's counting? Me. Yeah, we've been back this last week. I think we have 7 more weeks of school. Let me look at this. Let me look. Let's see. So April, let's see. So we've got we got 34 days. Did I say 34? I think we got 34 days. But the kids are out on the 30th. The last day is May the 30th. They're out the entirety of June. and then they go back on what's the day they go back in July? I think they go back July 30th. So they're only out for 2 full months. So 8 weeks. So, yeah, that's gonna make it difficult for me to have a for me to work Fridays or any day that Chandra doesn't have to work or any days that Chandra has to work. That's gonna be difficult, but we'll make it through. We will make it through, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's look at everybody saying hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. I mean, even with all your food stuff, you're still an oddball, even outside of that. But we love you, Rick. Rick's the best. Someone's got to keep that iguana population down. I was watching an old Two Crazy Ketos, their very first review video of keto chow from like 6 years ago, and they were talking about we should just eat iguanas. They're like they're everywhere where they live, and I was like, Rick, yes. Evelyn says we have 2 more rounds of state testing, but we finished ELA, almost summer meeting wellness. Yay! Rick the rarity. Yeah, Rick's a great dude. He's a rare bird for sure. And I think he'd probably eat more birds if they landed close so he could catch them. Evelyn with all the thumbs up. Look at that. Brenda says it's inspiring to maybe raise the children like Rick. If they don't know what they're missing, would love to have the do over with my kids. And here's kind of an idea on that though. Like, unfortunately, it's difficult because the social aspects of things, and you want to get like, so our little girl, our granddaughter, she doesn't like a lot of things. Like, we've been to Costco and she tried, they were giving out samples, and they had these little cups of chocolate milk. Like, they have like this real thick chocolate milk they sell. And it's okay, chocolate milk. It's not the best. I mean, it's kind of pricey chocolate. It's like bougie chocolate milk. I think making keto chow, like hot chocolate keto chow, is better flavor to me. But she was like, and I had to drink it. She was like, she didn't like it. And like the face the person made, the person giving out the samples that a kid didn't like chocolate milk, was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. He was just like I've never seen a kid not like chocolate milk. And it's rare. She likes regular milk and water. Sometimes maybe a little lemonade or something like that. But even then it's usually watered down pretty heavy and usually, yeah. But she's a weird kid. But I think with the social aspect of like going to birthday parties, and you don't want, and that's a fine line because you don't want your kids to feel so different because it is so strange of a thing for kids to be different. Like, like when I remember being a kid and there was always the kid that was lactose intolerant. So he got the little cup of like fruit punch instead of milk. And then there was the kid, I remember there was a girl in my like early elementary who was on a water diet. So she had to go and drink a lot. She had to drink cups and cups and cups of water all day. And then um there was a kid who became type 1 diabetic, and he would have to have snacks while we were while we were in class. And so he'd have like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and different things like that, which, knowing what we know now, is probably not the best thing for him, but I digress. There's just things, and like, you become an outlier and then you're weird. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, you want your kids to still experience the things that other kids experience. Doesn't mean that they have to do it all the time. you know I don't know. Rick says, who needs a gas station when you've got a supermarket meat section and a hot engine? See, that's why we love you, Rick, because that's not something that anybody else in the chat would say. Let's see. Really makes me feel good about Chris kicked the soda and the duck food addiction. I still struggle with that. We're all going to struggle with that for a long time. Let's see. Cindy says, same here. Maybe my kids wouldn't be in ill health now. Makes me feel like such a bad parent now looking back. Yeah, I think, my mom fed me the best way she could. We were poverty level. So, shopping at Aldi again, like before, like when it was a dirty place and it was such a different place back then. And compared to how it is now, um, you still have to be very careful with the foods at Aldi. You have to be very careful because not everything is as it seems. And the ingredients aren't always the best. But, I think it's just, I don't know. It would be nice if kids ate better. If on the whole, all kids ate better and there weren't, I mean, like where a pizza party was generally the only time they had a pizza, or like birthday parties the only time they had a cake, that kind of stuff. But it's like they eat cake every day, Pop Tarts or pancakes or whatever. It's like you can't have this cake with icing, but you can have these pancakes with syrup. What? It's just the weirdness. Like if like the difference in cereals. Like if you look at the ingredients and the macros on Fruit Loops versus like what would be considered a healthy cereal, there's not a huge difference. It's crazy. But yeah. Rick says, my parents were health food obsessed. Sugar cereals and fast foods were off limits. I ate from McDonald's 4 to 5 times in my life and went inside, not a drive through. Okay. I remember going inside McDonald's a lot when I was a kid. And before they had the play places and stuff. Tanya says, "I hate people. Let's see. I hate when people say that I'm depriving myself. They don't believe me that I don't feel deprived. I miss some things, but I feel so much better, life changing. And my thing is if I truly want something, I'm going to have it because I understand that there is a mental aspect of actual depriving yourself of something. So if I see something that I truly want to try, I'm going to do it. Like a couple summers ago, there was the hot mustard Doritos. And I kept seeing them and seeing them and seeing them, and I wanted to try them, but I kept putting it off. I'm like, no, no, but then like finally I'm like, look, I'm gonna have these because like if I keep wanting them for weeks and weeks and weeks and I don't have them, I'm gonna be upset with myself and I may do something else. So I had a bag. Now, granted, what I should have done is got them when I saw them in the small bags, but finally then I stopped seeing them, and then I was in Wisconsin and saw a big bag, so I got the big bag and ate that over a few days. So, I think, being an adult and having the decision-making skills of living this lifestyle for as long as I have, I think it's okay sometimes to go, "You know what? Is that gonna be the best thing for me? No. But if I don't have it, is it gonna cause other issues down the line?" Mental issues, because if I feel like I'm deprived with this, and that's happened to me before as well. um we were at a comedy show, and it came down to like it was supposed to be like a 2 item minimum or whatever, so we decided that we were going to order some drinks and get a couple appetizers to sit and watch the show. But for some reason they never waited on us. They didn't say anything to us, they didn't come to our table, waited on everybody around us, never even brought us any waters or anything. We didn't even get water. So that was weird. So then the next day I was upset and I had this mental issue because I was like, I had got myself in the idea that I was going to have this thing And so I ended up buying some stuff and having it that night, the next night. Was that the best idea? No, but it's what I did. And, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't always make the best choices, but I kind of feel like if there is something that I want, I'm going to have it because that gives me the control. Because if I look at it as, well, I can't have that stuff anymore. I can never eat that again. Never going to have it. Doesn't matter. That's not meat, eggs, bacon. It's not butter. I'm never going to eat it again. That's going to probably be more detrimental to my mental health than having the mentality of, if I truly want it, I'll have it. And I don't know. And your mileage may vary, and that's going to be different for everybody and how they handle things mentally. Let's see. Cindy says, Brian says, don't feel bad. That is what you were taught, and our government told us needed to learn our own way and find it. Yeah. That's the thing is, I mean, my mom did the best way. She made sure we ate. She was more concerned with us getting food into our bellies than necessarily what was the best for us. And I think she did the best she could. And even still, I wouldn't blame her. Nutrition is one of those things over the last 30, 40, 50 years has just been a crazy thing that nobody truly knows what's real and what's not. Carrie is in the house. Good morning, Carrie. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning, everybody. Finished everything at church, celebrating my birthday today. I turned 53 years today. Happy birthday, Carrie. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday. I hope it's a wonderful day, my friend. Yes. Rick is, I'm YouTube only, no other service. We've got a couple of services. We watch TV and all that stuff. Gary says, did you hear the chef got arrested for beating an egg? Very nice. Everybody's saying happy birthday. Yeah, Rick says, down here it's bananas and mangoes. I know every once in a while we get a box of mangoes from Shander's parents. They send us a big box of they send everybody in the family a big box of mangoes. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of fresh mangoes, but I will destroy some dehydrated mangoes. The chewy ones with all the sugar on them, those are delicious. But they're designed to be. Brenda says, for years, I ate two boiled eggs, an apple, and an oatmeal every morning. Just got fatter and sicker. Yeah. I mean, kind of an anti nutrient. It's kind of sucking out an apple. And, I don't necessarily think apples are bad for us. On the whole, I don't think we should be eating them every day. I think if we were in a situation like our ancestors and there was a time where there was no meat, apples are going to be what you eat, and you're probably going to be malnourished to a certain degree anyway. So eating apples is probably going to be better for you than starving. So. Cindy had Carnivore Dan on Friday night. Well, I appreciate that. I didn't get a chance to catch that, but I did see that it was coming. But she said, "Thank you again, Friday, for Friday's live. It was great, Carnivore Dan." Yes. Carrie said, "I'm catching the live on a better phone. It doesn't have a SIM card, but has a better antenna for Wi-Fi." Well, that's fantastic. Carnivore Dan just lazing around. Let's see. Carrie said, someone sent me another keto chow box and mixed pistachio and chocolate toffee. It was so good. I still don't think I've ever tried pistachio, but I like chocolate hot. So I'll take the butter and put it in a I drink it out of a steel cup. I put the butter and the packet in there, and I pour boiling water on top of it, and I immersion blend it. Oh, that stuff is good. I'll put a little bit of heavy cream in it too. Oh my goodness, that stuff is good. Oatmeal too was my downfall. I used to like the maple and brown sugar flavor, and I liked it with just hot water from the tap, but I liked a little watery. I didn't like it thick. I like to eat it kind of quick while it was still watery and runny. Weird, I know, but that's weird. Yeah, we need pineapple on pizza. I'm not a fan of pineapple on pizza, but I don't care if people have it on there. I'm not like, oh my god, this doesn't belong on pizza. Who cares? It's like people who are like, no grape salty. We don't need grape. We're gonna get it. Hashtag team grape. Hashtag team grape salty. You know. Yes, we always need more cowbell. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. Yeah, I love pizza. Pizza's delicious. Like I don't understand. Like I've never the idea that someone's like pizza's disgusting. Just it doesn't. My brain just goes ah. I don't. I don't. Ah. You know what I mean? Chris Cook in Nashville says the worst pizza has always tasted better than the best kale salad. So there's that. Yeah. Well, to me, kale used to just be decorative. Like when I worked at Chuck E. Cheese back in high school, kale was what went around the outside of the salad bar, and we would pick it up and put it into and put it in a thing every night, and then put it back out in the morning. You'd rinse it out because like stuff would drip into it. They're pulling stuff like the spoons would drip the salt, the dressings and stuff on it. Be like seeds and stuff mixed in, so you'd rinse it out and put it back out. Yeah. And Rick's asking Dustin, would you seriously choose a pizza over a delicious T-bone steak? I love steak and I love pizza. I love them for two different reasons. They don't taste anything alike. Steak tastes good. I've never been a big fan of T-bone anyway. I'd rather have just a ribeye or a ribeye, sirloin, strip steak. I don't care. So like the T-bone and the porterhouse and all that stuff. Never been a big fan of it. I would just get the whatever and just get a couple sirloins or whatever the case is. But to me, I eat beef all the time. Burger, steaks, pizza is the specialty thing for me. A lot of times people eat pizza all the time and they go out for a steak as a special treat. So the way we live is we eat meat most of the time, meat, eggs, whatever, right? So that's what we eat on a typical time. We're eating that stuff. So pizza, like let's go out for pizza because we don't eat pizza all the time or sometimes I'll make pizza stuff, whatever. Like with sauce, maybe some cheese, pepperoni, sausage, whatever, and just eat that with a spoon or whatever the case is. But pizza is not disgusting. And I would say that just because you like T-bone better doesn't make pizza disgusting, and it's like kind of a weird thing because I like both pizza and steak. I don't really see either one being better than the other necessarily. Now, steak's better for me, but the funny thing about pizza is pizza isn't considered a health food, which is strange because pizza, if you're looking at the nutritional guidelines, hits all the things. You got grains in the crust. You've got fruit and vegetables with the sauce and any toppings you put on. You've got dairy for the cheese. You've got meat for the toppings, and so if you're gonna get onions and peppers or whatever you like on your pizza, realistically, you get a deluxe everything pizza. That should be the epitome of health food for our current guidelines for the national FDA guidelines. Like a deluxe everything pizza should be the epitome of health food. But if our guidelines say that we should be eating those things and pizza isn't considered a health food, then our guidelines are wrong. That's my hot take. I Cereal is delicious. Like, just I mean, that's the thing is like it's delicious. It's hyper palatable. It's phenomenal. Cold milk and cereal, whether it's Lucky Charms or uh, Captain Crunch or whatever. That stuff is delicious. I don't care who you are. It's good. It's just not good for us. Chris says, "Come to Nashville and I'll make you my pizza crust, Dustin." I am planning to come to Nashville sometime soon. I figure once you guys are rested up, we'll talk about that a little bit more, make some plans, set some stuff in motion, see what things work out, what things don't. Look at your guys' tour schedule and try to figure something out, you know? Brenda says, I always recommended pineapple flavored keto chow. Upside down cake was my favorite, hubby's favorite dessert for his birthday every year, April 29th. Oh, that's fantastic. Is there? I didn't even know there was a pineapple flavored keto chow. But then again, I don't. You'd think I'd know. The tomato paste would be used to fix broken tomatoes. Yes. Yes. Rick says, I grow tomatoes, but the only way I can tolerate them in a sauce is to ferment them. Okay. Carnivore Dan says, I still haven't tried keto chow. Think I will. If you want to try keto chow, go over to KetoSimple.shop. You can get 10% off your entire order anytime you order. Helps me out, helps the channel out. And they do have the new coconut cream pie flavor right here. Yes. Chocolate, though, is my favorite. Let's see. Just told Jack no more processed foods in the house from now on. Yes. Mean wife, healthy life. That's awesome. And Rick says, when I can again ferment eggs, I will. A pacemaker pizza, the only one I can eat without getting sick. Hmm. Jennifer Lucas says, I've never met a bad pizza. I mean, even bad pizza is still good. Even bad pizza you can still enjoy. It may not be your favorite, but I mean, there's just something. Pizza is just such a good food. I don't even know. Carnivore Dan says it's 45 degrees in Georgia. So you're saying that it's warmer in Georgia, or let me see. It's colder in Georgia than it is here in Indianapolis. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit here. That's crazy. Yes. Brian is 1000% correct. N equals one is the best way to figure things out for one's own self. Yes, indeed. Rick says a pound and a half of beef is a light meal for me. Yeah. Carrie says hit the like button a trillion plus one times. I would appreciate that. If I could get a trillion likes, I'd be a top YouTuber. Rick says, I never get more than a few minutes behind with comments. Well, I mean, shut up. I get behind. It's fine. Because I talk about things and I'm talking to myself. Cindy, you just reminded me to order a coconut keto chow. Okay, just place my order. Well, that's fantastic, Shelly. Evelyn says, Brenda Foley, I'll jump on that pineapple recommendation with you, especially now that they've discontinued pina colada. I still don't think I even knew they had pineapple keto chow, to be 100% truthful. I don't even think I even knew that. Sean says, I wish lactose intolerant growing I was lactose intolerant growing up. Soy milk was disgusting, so I would eat my cereal with water. I had to add sugar to it to make it taste better. Well, I mean, realistically, most of the time, most milk back then was skim, which is basically just sugar water anyway. Have a great day, Gary, Carrie. Happy birthday, sir. Bride's Biscuit says, I try and stay away from anything tasting sweet. I still use allulose in my coffee, but even the taste of plain Greek whole fat yogurt, a cephalic insulin response for me, triggers my carb addiction. That's crazy. But again, everybody is going to be a little different. Chris says, I'm not a parent, so take this with a grain of salt, but I don't think you should feel bad for the things you did not know it had a negative effect. Bad parents do bad things intentionally. Yeah, 100%. And I mean, parenting is hard. And I'm just a step parent. And it's hard. Being a step parent's hard because it's just hard. It just is. There's nothing easy about raising a human being and making them be a decent human being. And Chris said, I told my parents about this, about my weight and my diet. They didn't know. They did their best and I didn't blame them for any of it. And I don't blame my mom. My mom did the very best she could with what she had. And I went on and I mean, I did what I did and I did what I wanted to do. And that's not necessarily her fault. But I would go based on guidelines and stuff a little bit. I'd be like, well, and I'd think about calories because I remember calories being such a big important thing that when remember going to the movie theaters, they started posting calories for everything. Like, this is 1,000 calories. I'm like, that's crazy, but that doesn't tell the whole story. So, I don't know. We're never given all the information. We're never given enough information to make true competent decisions as we were growing up. Our parents didn't have all the information. My great grandparents even ate and started modifying the diet that they had grown up with, that their parents ate and their grandparents ate to listen to the doctors because doctors know everything. I mean, if the doctors are telling us that the studies are saying we got to get our cholesterol down and we've got to do this and do this and do that, well, we've got to do it because the doctor said so. I'm going to get on this cholesterol medicine. My cholesterol is too high. That's crazy. Brenda says, in a parallel world, we all have CCN parties for the children. There isn't any of that crap. Yeah, we can't ketofy. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I just don't, like our great grandparents, our great great grandparents, they had cake every once in a while. They had apples and fruit and they had things every once in a while, but maybe once a year. It wasn't, the thing is the thing we have to remember is we eat the equivalent of cake and ice cream every day as the normal society. Think about like people who go to Starbucks every day and get their blended coffees and all that stuff. That's a milkshake every single day, you know? Evelyn says, my half brother, who Dustin reminds me of, used to eat a gallon of milk and a jumbo box of cereal every morning for breakfast. Oh, milk is still, I had some milk last night. Milk is a thing. Like I had regular 2% milk last night with some stuff. And like, I'm not sorry. I love milk. It's delicious. I grew up with milk. Milk is a hard thing for me to stay away from. I tried almond milk, soy milk, um, cashew milk. I even at one point in time before doing keto, I was drinking the rice milk. Anything I could find to have cereal because I thought it was the milk giving me the issues, but it was all the bad stuff I was eating, all the sugar and everything. I thought it was the milk giving me trouble, but it was not. I thought I was lactose intolerant or whatever. Bride's Biscuit says I try to stay away from anything tasting sweet. Okay, I read that one already. It's There's been some of these things that looks like they are, maybe they're trying to double themselves, I don't know. Evil Lynn says, "Even when I was heavier, I was still the smallest person in my family." That's saying something. Happy belated birthday, Dan. I hope it was a great day, sir. Chris says, "You're not a fan of fresh mangoes because you're not getting them off the mango trees in the tropics. You get them fresh and ripe, they're like eating juicy honey." Oh, that sounds great though. I mean, I've never really tried. Actually, I can't say I'm not a fan. I've never tried fresh mango. Not tried it, so I can't really say I'm not a fan of it. I've just never tried it, and it just never looked appealing to me. That's kind of where I'm at. Evelyn just subscribed to Carnivore Dan and put his channel up. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe to Mr. Carnivore Dan. Mary T is in the house. Good morning, Mary. Morning, late to the party, but it's early here. Nice to see you. I'm so glad to see you, Mary. Such a sweet, lovely face. Ah, I love that smile. Thank you. Carnivore Dan says, "Warning, my content isn't good." Well, make it good. Let's go. None of our content was good when we started. Tanya says, "I'll be the judge of that." Let's see. Mary T said she made Chris's Parmesan steak bites last night. Oh my, so good. Yes. Wait, what? Why would you wish crispy bacon on anyone? Team snotty bacon. Ugh, I like bacon. I don't know about snotty bacon. That's weird to me. I don't know how I feel about that. Mm, mm. I like crispy bacon. I mean, bacon's still bacon, so even some of the snot, but I don't know. It's got to be crispy. I mean, it's just kind of that's where I'm at currently in my life. Brenda says bacon. I just like it. Not picky. Either way, yum. If it's too chewy, I'm not a big a fan. It's got to be kind of crispy. And Rick says, "Good point about pizza. Should be a health food by their definition." That's my thing. If pizza isn't like celebrated as the healthiest food you could possibly eat, then their guidelines are bull. You know what I'm saying? Crispy bacon. See, Rick is an oddball because all these foods were made to be palatable for humans. Like they're not made to be good for humans; they're made to be palatable. So, like, granted, like cornflakes, like like well, I'll tell you, good fresh frosted flakes. That's some legit stuff. Brenda's saying bacon should help my headache this morning. I bet it will. Let's see. Carl says myplate.gov does define portions with a pizza cut pie chart. Yeah. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There isn't pineapple yet. Wait, what am I missing? Sean says coconut cream pie waffles are amazing. The only bad pizza is with like with mold on it. I'm sure people would still eat that. Mary says, I remember my parents being enthralled with all the manufactured foods. It was a novelty to them. My dad thought Tang was the best invention ever. My great grandmother used to buy me Tang and keep it at the house in glass jars. When everything used to come in glass. Gatorade came in glass, sodas was in glass, glass, everything was glass. Probably better for us than all this plastic. All the plastic. Carl says keto took away my lactose intolerance. I can now drink milk, but now I don't want it. I still like milk from time to time. It's just something about it. Rick, that sounds awful. Beware of duck milk. Sometimes that's just one of those things that just nauseates, like just like a nauseating thought of duck milk. Oh, so let's talk about Slick City. Slick City, everybody. Let me see if I can bring it up here. I gotta download the video. Hold on, everybody. Okay, boys and girls, let's see if I can. All right, that's not gonna work. I don't know. There's things that I'm still working on here. Yep. It's processing. I want to show you guys some video from this place. So check this place out. This is that Slick City place. These are all the slides. It's a pretty awesome place. So she went down this green slide here, the curly slide, and then she was doing this other thing that was like a zip line type thing. It was like a very short zip line that's like hard. It's like a hard like roller thing over everything. Yes, you have to be under 250 pounds if you want to do the slides. And they've got the bouncy basketball type thing. Kind of expensive though. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome place to go. Yeah, I was thinking of Meet the Parents. Sounds disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like mushrooms. Mushrooms are gross. And yeah, they do let adults on the slides. Mary T says, "Looks like my kind of place. I'm a kid at heart. I could ride a roller coaster all day." Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love rides. That's why I love Disney so much. Yeah, Stacy was in here earlier, and when we were talking, she's going to keep us updated. So hopefully that he's going to be all right. He's going to be just fine, I'm sure, but she'll keep us informed. Jahil, you need to behave yourself. I know all about you. Risa is here. Excessively late. Hi, all. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, she was just really into like one or two things. She wasn't super into going to a lot of the stuff. So she liked two or three of the things. I would show more footage, but she's in that footage and we don't show stuff of her online. So yeah, I just wanted to get some footage to share with you guys because that's pretty awesome. And they're building them all over the country. I know they've got them in Wisconsin now. I know they're in Colorado. There's a bunch of them. They're pretty awesome. Kingpin, where instead he cuts off the hooves instead of taking off the shoes, and then like, we don't have a cow, we have a bull. We've been talking about stress eating and all the things that happened like the last week and a half that I wasn't around. So you'll have to go and catch up on that and watch the replay. Well, yeah. Oh, mm, coffee is so good. Mm. Everybody's saying hello to everyone. Let's take a look. Make sure I caught everything that I wanted to talk about today. And I wanted to touch on like one of the things that we were talking about is like navigating dietary choices with a partner. And I know a lot of people live this lifestyle separately from their partners. And Shannon and I, we live this life together. We share this lifestyle, and she helps keep me on track, and I help keep her on track. So as I said earlier, like when we're both stressed out, and she's not, you know, have a good one, Steph. Be safe. Enjoy church. If she's like, let's do this, and I'm like, "Huh, I'm on it. I'm gonna go buy it right now. The store's open for another 10 minutes. Let's go. You know, like this week she wanted some cinnamon bread from Costco. But the good thing, so here's a bonus. Here's a bonus thing that I find for myself. I find it difficult for me if I'm looking through the grocery store like Costco or somewhere for something for me if I'm looking for something for myself, like she wanted the cinnamon bread, and I'm kind of looking to see if there's anything that I want. It's very difficult for me to find those things. It's very difficult for me to find, that kind of stuff. Cindy's leaving. Well, have a great day, Cindy. We have to go for today. We have to go in a bit. Well, have a good one. I miss you, Cindy. Hopefully to see you soon, very soon. You know. But yeah, let's see. A chef I follow made prosciutto crisps the other day. They looked awesome. Put between two parchment sheets, bake 375 for 20 minutes or so, bacon 2.0. Oh, that sounds phenomenal. But yeah, just like when you depend on your spouse or your partner to help keep you on track, and then you're both stressed out and you're both willing to be or willing and okay to be off track, it's difficult then. It's difficult to stay on track when you rely on that partner, and it happens, and it goes both ways. So I can only imagine if you are somebody living this lifestyle, excuse me, and your partner isn't on board and doing the same thing you are. I know there's a few of you out there who live this way, and I know like Cindy and Brian live they share the same lifestyle. Chris and Ash live the same lifestyle. I almost called her Mel. Oh my goodness gracious, my brain. This is a muscle that needs to be exercised, and you go 2 weeks without being on a live. My brain's like, "What's happening?" Ugh, you know? So, I think 2.5 hours is where I'll leave you guys today. I'm just about done with my coffee. We've had a lot of good conversations today. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the support, reaching out, checking on us this last week and a half. It truly means the world to me. Thank you for super chats. That means the world. Like buying Keto Chow through our link means the world to me. Thank you for all of the things that you do for this channel and for us, this community, each and every single one of you. I truly love all of you. I hope to be able to see you all very shortly. And with that, here is the credits.